Hello, this is Big Boss, Rescue Chief of Humane Emergency Animal Rescue. Welcome to our series, Animal Rescue Postmortem, where we analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of animal rescues throughout the world. Volume 6, number 19. Let me set the stage for this video here. This is a police canine that's been shot multiple times. There's going to be blood in here. If blood upsets you, you better hurry up and get out of here because it's just about to happen. And then what I want you to look for. I'm going to play this out because I have copyright concerns, but I want you to watch for a few things in here. One, based on video number 18, the video volume 6 number 18. Just before this one, you're going to see in there where police pull over somebody for transporting their dog to the hospital. They put them through a felony stop based on a lie, and then their dog dies in the car there with them. Now, we'll never know whether the dog would live or not. It may have required surgery that it wouldn't have received in time, but we know that the police definitely contributed to that death because of one police officer lying. Alright, so that's not what this video is about, but I want you to go back and contrast what you see is going on in this video here compared to what those people went through as their dog is dying. And I think you'll see a double standard. This is a different police department, okay? So you got to take that into a factor here. But I doubt very much any police officer, unless it's like probably a canine officer, is going to give you any kind of breaks on speeding, trying to get your animal to a hospital. Then we'll also see the inappropriate, in my opinion, inappropriate use of resources here that endangered multi-million-dollar resources, and then they endangered the public. Okay, remember in the United States, dogs are considered property. I don't agree with that. I think my dog is my family member, and my family members aren't property to me. But the courts view them as property. And so that is what it is. I don't know what to add to that. So let's watch this video, and then I'll come back and do the critique on it. The video is 3 minutes and 29 seconds. I've got, whoops. Sorry, I'm messing everything up here.
Easy. It's okay, buddy. Easy, Hawk. Easy, Hawk.
Canine Huck was shot on Zoo Parkway on the north side last July as police pursued 3 suspects from a shots fired incident. That shootout left 2 suspects dead. The third was arrested.
And now News4Jax reporter Vic Michelucci has obtained body camera footage showing how officers used a pickup truck, then a helicopter to get the severely wounded service dog desperately needed care.
Canine Huck is still recovering today. Last July, he got hit during a shootout between police and 3 men who just crashed their car after a chase. Huck went toward their vehicle when police say at least one of the men fired a shot. Officers then fired back, killing 2 of the men. I do want to warn you, these body camera videos are graphic and dramatic. Some people may find them disturbing.
Just what you need.
I need whatever to stop this bleeding. Tense moments as officers rush to get Canine Huck to safety.
Get out of here now!
Carrying the 70-pound bleeding dog to a police truck and putting pressure on his wounds. Canine handlers had recently trained for a worst-case scenario just like this.
That hole's real deep.
Then they discover more rounds in his wrist and neck.
It's okay, Hawk. It's okay, buddy. Come on.
Officers speed him to a Northside veterinary clinic, but then decide to fly the service dog to an emergency vet in Jacksonville Beach. The JSO air unit lands behind a strip mall. The helicopter takes off as Huck's handler, Officer Cheth Plugger, calms him down in the back seat alongside another officer.
I don't know, dude. I went to like dad mode when I saw him. Who shot the suspect? I don't think so. I think it was police. But he was reaching, they shot. I couldn't tell what was going on. And I heard him yelping. He's at 80 miles an hour.
To be clear, JSO has not finished its investigation into what exactly happened and whose bullets hit the canine. Body camera video shows the moment Huck was hit. You can hear painful yelping as officers fire into the suspect's vehicle.
Watch the dog! Watch the dog!
Let's get back to that airlift. The JSO chopper lands on A1A in front of First Coast veterinary specialists in Jacks Beach.
His back left hind leg is the worst. I think it's got an artery bleed. You know what caliber?
Officers brief the team that is waiting.
It hit his front wrist, and he's also got a round through his neck and his chest.
Huck would go through several surgeries, rehab. He eventually lost part of his front leg, but not his spirit. We've spotted the trusty canine at several events around our area. He's retired now from JSO to live the rest of his life at home with Officer Plogger. JSO and the state attorney's office continue to review this case and the officer's actions. We'll let you know when the investigations come to a close.
Only on News 14.
Okay, I'm going to pause that there for a second. I want to take a look at something here. Okay, so this video is 5 months ago, and they said that probably about a year ago, yeah. So about a year's gone by, and they're still under investigation. Okay, so I'll let you know what I think about that in just a moment when we get to that portion of the video. Let's analyze what we see here. We're going to go back to actually some of the beginning. Let's go back to when they actually start, I think, when they first start treating the dog. Okay, my volume is up.
I need whatever to stop this bleeding.
Tense moments as officers rush to get canine Huck to safety.
Get out of here now!
Okay, when you hear somebody saying this,
I need whatever to stop this bleeding.
I need whatever to stop this bleeding. Somebody, it could just be inexperience, and in the video they did just say that they had just learned how to do this, learned some of this emergency first aid on dogs here, and so it could be inexperience, but then also just by the tone of his voice, and based on my experience in the field, I think the guy's panicking and he can't think straight on exactly what he needs, because I, as a medic, look, I've been doing this emergency response stuff since '79. I stay calm. You won't find a second of audio tape, videotape, or anyone who will tell you I've ever been excited on the scene of an emergency. I haven't since day one. You've got to keep a cool, calm head so that you can properly assess what you are seeing and then properly respond to it. That's the only way that you can do that job the right way. So you don't want that kind of person responding to your emergency. Then listen to this.
Moments as officers rush to get canine Huck to safety.
Get out of here now!
Carrying the 70-pound bleeding dog. Canine.
Just what you need. I need whatever to stop this bleeding.
Tense moments as officers pound bleeding dog to a police to safety.
Get out of here now!
Okay, get this person in the background that's yelling, "Get it out of here now." I don't know if that's the same officer that this body-worn footage here, but that's another person that's excited and not being calm, cool, and collected. You got to have that on the scene of an emergency. I can hear it in that person's voice, how they're acting and what's going on mentally with that person there. Okay, so now let's go back here and watch this, the treatment. I'm going to get the volume off now. So what we see here, at first I didn't realize it until I watched this video a couple times, is that we're seeing them in the back of the pickup truck at this point after the animal has actually been to an animal hospital. Because I was like, where did the police get this animal tourniquet here? Because this is what we use for blood draws or cutting off the flow of blood for many different animal species. That's what this tourniquet here works really great for that, and this is designed specifically for animal use. You won't find this in any animal medical, or I'm not animal, human medical supply place. This is for animals, and so I was like, where do they get that from? Because that is appropriate. A cat tourniquet's not going to work for an animal, just like it won't work for a child. A SWAT T tourniquet has a better chance of working for an animal. But you're better off using either this type of tourniquet or direct pressure. Direct pressure is going to be your friend when you're trying to do something on one of these animals' legs. If you look at the shape of a dog's front leg, depending on where it is, it's almost a consistent diameter down through there for the most part. And then in the rear leg, it changes and it's got drastic angles, but it's usually sort of tapering down towards that paw where it gets, it's smaller and smaller segments, but they're angled. That rear leg is much more difficult to bandage and apply pressure dressing to than that front extremity. But as you'll find, human people, humans, when you're trying to bandage a human, there's some consistency and it's fairly easy to accomplish. On an animal, it's much different. It's a whole new skill set. As I learned when I switched from working with humans to working with animals. Okay, so then there's just too much in the initial footage here. So now that they've been to the hospital, you can tell things have calmed down considerably here. But they probably got to this hospital, and that hospital is like, we can't handle this. This is too extensive a trauma. You need to get to an emergency facility that's got like a surgical team that can handle these kind of wounds, or do pins, whatever the case may be. So now let's go back to, we're going back to this footage here, and this is going to be the initial treatment in the back of the truck, because we can see the stretcher's not there, the tourniquet's not there. They blurred this out on purpose. I don't know why. Look, people, get a grip. There's blood in the world. So stop being so panicky. And then, so here's the stretcher, there's the animal tourniquet, and they've transported him in the back of a truck. Let's go to that for a minute.
For a worst case scenario just like this, they discover more round and neck.
It's okay, It's okay, buddy. Come on.
Officers.
Okay. They are using lights and sirens to transport a dog to the hospital. We don't have that capability. And excuse me, the county won't grant us the capability to do that. They won't even grant us the capability to transport us and our chemical capture equipment to an actual animal emergency out in the field that requires an experienced animal person on the scene. So I see that as a big contradiction, because if you and I were transporting that animal any speed over the speed limit, we'd get pulled over, probably get a ticket, and as in video number 18, our animal might die because somebody made up a story about why they pulled somebody over. And then what I said before, and we'll see the footage here because we're going to look at it again, the actual shooting footage here. It says, look here on the screen, who shot him? The suspect. And then this officer here says, I don't think so, it was the police. Wait till you see the video. They say that supposedly the people inside the vehicle fired one round. Well, the dog wouldn't have been in there when they fired the initial round. And the wild, crazy shooting didn't start until the police got on the scene, and you'll see a violation of all of the firearm safety rules there in that video. Actually, let me take myself out here for a moment because we're getting ready to switch over to that. There, I think I'm out of the screen. So,
be clear, JSO has not finished its investigation.
80 miles an hour. And I heard him yelping, speeds are at 80 miles an hour.
Speeds are at 80 miles an hour. Let's just pause that for a moment. Just because a police car has to travel 80 miles an hour to catch up with someone doesn't mean the person that's driving is doing 80 miles an hour. So you keep that in mind.
Exactly happened.
Isn't that right? They've taken.
Shows the moment.
So let's watch this for a second. I'm going to start pointing out things to you. In the right-hand side of the screen, they've got somebody blurred out. Why they have that person blurred out is kind of questionable. But the person's got a rifle in their hand. We can see a suppressor on the end of the rifle as it comes into focus, into view here. Right there. Oops. Boy, it's really hard to get the timing down on that. Okay. There's a person right here with a suppressed, I'm sure it's an AR-15 rifle, that comes in here and just starts shooting.
You can hear painful yelping as officers fire into the suspect's vehicle.
I didn't hear a fight. I didn't hear any gunshot come before the police started shooting. Why are they blurring all of this out over here? That's highly suspicious.
Watch the dog! Watch the dog!
Okay, I'm going to go back to that for a moment. Watch this. Let me see if I can get this back far enough. This video is not really supposed to be about... Okay, so the handlers, the canine handler, anybody that's worked with dogs before, know if you carry a gun, your gun hand is your free hand. You never do anything with a gun hand except your gun. And you're handling your dog and in your right hand, and then you're going to be doing all the dog handling with your left hand, so your gun hand is always free. That's exactly what the canine handler is doing here. We can see that the lead is being pulled by the left hand. Here's the canine officer's right hand. Watch when this officer shoots in this car. Remember, I'm a certified range safety officer. I've done it professionally. I've disarmed people on the range who are just about to shoot themselves or other people. And I've handled firearms thousands of times, literally thousands of times. And so I'm saying that this officer is not aiming at anything inside this or inside this car that's turned over here. He is just pointing the gun inside the car and shooting. Watch. There's no way that guy was aiming that pistol. He just stuck it inside there and started shooting. That is some really crappy police work, in my opinion. So let's see. Let's get this helicopter. Right here. Alright. Now, here's where I'm going to be complaining about them using multi-million-dollar resources to transport. So we got confirmed 3 people in this helicopter. We got at least 1 pilot, and there was 2 other police officers in there. The canine officer traveling with his dog, and then another officer who may have been riding along with the with the pilot here in this helicopter. So what are the potential hazards here? I spent my childhood and quite a bit of my adult life working on and off Fort Campbell. I have a lot of experience working around helicopters. Okay, I've been to many helicopter crashes, and I've worked with the military in relation to helicopters. All right, so I don't want my videos to be about my past. So we've got this street light here. That are signal lights, the post and the arm that holds those lights on. We've got a multi-line high voltage power lines there in the background. Plus you've got different street signs, crosswalk signs, all that kind of stuff that's in the immediate area. And this is where they're landing out on the street. And you've got all of these civilians. This is somebody's cell phone footage. You can see it. You can see a reflection of them in the mirror down here on the lower hand side of the screen. You can see their hand, and then you can see that this is at an intersection here. So they're putting all these people at risk. They're putting this helicopter at risk for what? Here's a few things that can happen. This is a few things that can go wrong with a helicopter on takeoff or landing or any time, but some things are specific to taking off, and I just want you to watch this. Watch what happens to these rotors when they start disintegrating. This is one of the most dangerous places you'll ever be when something like this happens. It spins, and then once it comes over, watch those rotors disintegrate. Those things can chop you in half, impale you, cut an arm off, a leg off. Oh, they could do all kinds of different things. Okay, so that's just one possibility. And those kind of accidents happen throughout the world on a fairly regular basis. Oh, that's not that one. This is the one I want. I'm going to put myself back into the video here. Alright, we've got a helicopter that's taking off. You see the power lines here. This helicopter's too close to the power lines. They shouldn't have been landing here in this area. They should have picked a better area to land in. So this helicopter's going to swing. I don't know if it gets pushed by, if those are pilot inputs or if it gets pushed by wind. Wind could push it without any inputs from the pilot at all. And do in this exact same thing happen. The same thing could happen to this when it's taking off from this field. It could get blown into these trees here with a gust of wind. All right. So those are the possibilities that can happen when you when they are landing a helicopter in these areas. Whenever something like that's going on in air operation, I don't want to be anywhere near it. I don't want to be anywhere near that kind of operation unless we're doing like a large animal air evacuation. And I still don't like being around them because of these possibilities of what can happen there. Alright, I think I've analyzed this video pretty good. That's it for number 19. You see what can happen. You see what we want you to do on the YouTube channel. Go over there, help us grow the channel. And then go over to our website and click around over there. I can't tell you what's on there. It's a secret. The only way to find out is for you to go over there and go over there and start clicking around. And then don't forget to leave a comment down below. And also any kind of video suggestion that you have. Thank you for all your love and support. We really do appreciate it. And please consider making a donation. That's it.